Farrell with the Pennsylvania State Police. Do you have your license registration?
Yes, I do. I do not have a glove box. It's in my front trunk. If I can open that for you.
Sure.
Something you may not have known about me, I enjoy golf. He's like 85. Beats me every time. I play it like twice a year, but I still like it. Something I bet you did know about me, I get pulled over a lot. Through no fault of my own, of course. And believe it or not, you know, I think golfing and getting pulled over have a lot in common. For instance, they both take probably far too long, and they both cost a lot of money. That I should have filmed. I just pushed that BMW from the bay to the parking spot because it is dead. A dead BMW, not really that surprising. You know what car is not dead? The McLaren. The car that's supposed to have so many problems. Guess what? 7,100 miles later of beating the shit out of it and she still works. Every time. Usually I get pulled over for my truck tires sticking out too far or tinted windows. I don't actually usually get pulled over for movement violation or moving violations too often. Things like speeding and street racing, although I have from time to time, I will admit. Time it was pretty bad. I got pulled over doing 120. I'm just kidding. I got pulled over doing 45 in a 25. It's really stupid. It was on a road where the speed limit is 25 and everybody breaks that speed limit, and that's why the cops sit there, because they know everybody breaks it. And you know, usually I know to pay attention on that road for that reason, but I was late to Chipotle and I was very hungry. I just couldn't help but speed. I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings, and before I knew it, I got the lights behind me.
Pennsylvania State Police. Do you have your license registration?
Yes, I do. I do not have a glove box. It's in my front trunk. If I can open that for you.
Sure.
You know what I think the problem is? I think that the cops around here are too nice. You know, it's not like Daily Driven Exotics where he gets harassed and, you know, basically just berated by cops all the time. You know, the cops around here are just so friendly and easy to get along with, you can't even really be mad when you get pulled over. Because let's face it, I was doing something wrong. One of these times I'll have some crazy encounter, like, the craziest thing I have really isn't that crazy at all. It's the don't call me buddy guy. It was like 3 weeks ago. Did you go to like the PennDOT website? Oh yeah. It's it's all on the system. Okay. Yeah, nothing comes back. It is mine. Okay, it's not that I don't believe it, there's just nothing saying that it is. Why should we? I just don't, because if the tag's not showing up to any vehicle, I have to take the tag, and then we have to tow it. I don't want to do that. That sucks, yeah. It's not far. Yeah. Well, I understand that, but you have no way to prove it. I can't go on just your word. I understand it sucks, but there's nothing I can do about that. But the law says the plate has to be, it's registered to me. But it's not. It's not coming back to anything or anyone. Don't call me buddy or anybody, okay? Oh, jeez. But you know, I wasn't being smart with the guy. I think he just kind of took it the wrong way, and then we both calmed down and everything was cool. But, you know, that's about the most wild cop story I have. Long story short with this one, I will be going to court very soon. Maybe I should announce the court date and have everybody show up. We can do a massive car meet at the courthouse. Probably a terrible idea and will result in me absolutely being found guilty of everything and much more. But, you know, I think it would be fun. As always, I will keep you guys updated on what happens with the court day. I feel like it's going to be fine. It's a minor speeding ticket. Hopefully we can get it down to something with no points, and I'll pay my fine and life will go on. Fun fact though, the last time I got pulled over for a moving violation, meaning, you know, speeding, running a stop sign, running a red light, which I've never done either of those two, but you get my point. Something where the car is actually in motion. The last time that happened was November with Troy. Didn't see the lights until you were like way over the hill.
It took me a little while to get out, so. I said don't laugh at me, but I don't have a glove box. So
Yeah, mine. Should I get mine out of my trunk too? Yeah.
Is that the right? Valid 8/27/17.
You guys have to go to get them. You get in Harrisburg.
Philadelphia.
Cherry Hill.
Westchester.
Well, Troy, current situation.
Not good.
We're doing good, buddy.
Yeah.
We're doing really good.
Thumbnail.
So actually, I've gone a little bit over 6 months without getting pulled over, and I feel like that's really good. Like I actually have been trying very hard to not speed. It hasn't been going that well. But you know, truly, there is a time and a place where you can do it safely and have a little bit of fun, and you know, there's no people around and no cops around, and I feel like that's okay. But you know, around town, I really don't speed much at all. Otherwise, I would be getting pulled over all the time because there are a lot of officers in my area. But you know, this is just a situation where I wasn't paying attention, and I should have been. I was focused on my burrito. I paid the price. That's gonna be a $350-ish Chipotle visit. Fun times. So that is the most recent story in the pullover adventures of Street Speed 717 in the McLaren. And you know, the problem with this car isn't so much that I really do speed a lot, which I mean, I kind of do, but the car is really just a total cop magnet. I mean, let's be honest. It's just a people magnet. You can't not notice it. And if there's a minivan going down the road speeding and this car going down the road speeding, doing the same mile per hour, which one do you think a police officer is more likely to pull over? I think that kind of speaks for itself, but I do want to do a Q&A. Sorry there wasn't a whole lot of action in today's vlog. I was out doing a lot of errands and random shit and golfing with the family, you know, having a good time. But luckily we have over 1,000 questions that people asked on the last Q&A, so we have plenty of good ones to get to, and you know, I really like to do them and engage with the audience. It's just kind of fun and relaxed, and I like going just free balling it, you know, no editing, just kind of saying whatever comes to mind and answering questions as I go. So I'm going to scroll down to past where I was when I did the last Q&A. Where do you see your channel and content going in 2 to 4 years? Same things, new things, collabs. Well, definitely lots of collabs. And, you know, new things, but keeping it the same as basically what I'm doing. You know, I love what I do. I love my format, and I don't really have a format. You know, I'm not a review channel. I'm not just vlogs. I do a lot of different stuff. You know, I'm kind of like not a build channel because I don't really work on my own cars that much. I mean, some here and there with the Duramax, and like, you know, I took the McLaren ECU out and stuff like that. But, you know, I just have a wide range of content and a wide range of cars too. So more of the same, but good stuff, really. Matt MPG, will you go for a 720 Spider? I will not. Actually, believe it or not, I do like coupes, and that is what it says here in the rest of his question. Yeah, I mean, the McLaren Spiders, though, if I was ever going to get a convertible, it would be a McLaren, because they're one of the only cars where, like a Huracan Spider is a cool car, but the soft top to me doesn't look good at all. Like, I don't like the look of a soft top. Something about it just doesn't feel right, especially on a supercar. The McLarens, you get all the benefits of a Spider. You get you know, you can take the roof off on a nice day, but it still looks like a coupe. Like if you saw a 570 Spider and a 570 coupe next to one another at a show, you might not even notice that one is a Spider and one's not. Like they just look exactly the same because McLaren uses a foldable hardtop. So if I was going to get a Spider, it would definitely only probably be a McLaren. But I don't know. I'm more about the coupes. Will you come to Australia for summer nats and to meet your Aussie fans? I mean, I would love to go to Australia. I scuba dive. And I mean, scuba on the Great Barrier Reef would be really cool, but that is a big trip. If you get a C5 turbo supercharger or ProCharger nitrous as well. Well, ProCharger is a supercharger, and there's always some confusion on, you know, what that's all about. But a ProCharger is just a belt-driven turbo. Basically, it looks more like a turbo, but it's a centrifugal supercharger. So you have two main types of superchargers: that a centrifugal or like a Whipple style supercharger, and that sits on top usually of the V, and they're both belt driven. And the point is, you know, belt driven forced induction, not quite like a turbo. But I would like to experiment with a turbo. I mean, I've seen a lot of badass drag cars, and a lot of them are turbo. So I think I'd like to do that next time. And just seeing how fast this car is, like when it hits boost, I think you have more potential with a turbo setup than the supercharger setup, because the supercharger, you can only go so far, you know, you're limited, And the turbo, I mean, you can take it a lot farther, I think. And that's why, you know, a lot of turbo cars, you can have 2,000 plus horsepower. And that would be pretty fucking gnarly. What's your plan in the future about car storage? Your house only has 3 garage spaces. Not true. I have well, I have one over there. I could actually do 2 extra ones, but technically I have 4 right now. So that's not true. And one is taken by your girlfriend. Well, that's true. Her car is over there. I don't really feel like I need more than 3 spaces in the garage. I feel like if I'm getting to that many cars, maybe I should just sell some, because you can't drive. I never want to be the kind of person who has a ton of cars and doesn't drive them all. You know, I really like to daily drive each one. I have 7,000 miles on my McLaren. You know, I put 3,000 miles on the ZR1 in like a little over a month. And I really like to drive a lot. And if I have like 8 cars, you can't really appreciate them. Then you're always switching back and forth and you can't get in the groove. Like, I just like to, you know, really have 1 or 2 cars and drive like the shit out of them all the time. That's more my style. When is the new McLaren coming to the channel? I'm not quite sure yet. I don't have a build date or anything, but it should be within a year. So I know that sounds like a long time, but it's really not. Like the ZR1 feels like just the other day I was saying, oh yeah, it should be here in a couple months. Now we've already had one. It's gone. New one coming in a couple of days, which, by the way, my new ZTK ZR1 delivery was delayed by Memorial Day. Obviously they weren't working that day and it was delayed on the transport truck. I know I'm always getting, like, with my ZR1 deliveries, I'm always just getting fucked, which it's understandable. But it should be here within like 3 or 4 days. I keep saying, you know, 3 or 4 days, but it should be, that's my time frame right now. So should be very, very soon. What do you think about the Chevy's new 2.7 4-cylinder for the Silverado? I think it's stupid. You know, Chevrolet has the turbo in the Camaro, the Turbo 4. I think Turbo 4 is an engine that belongs in a hatchback, but not in a full-size truck, not in a sports car. Although Ford sells plenty of EcoBoost Mustangs, I don't know, but I would never buy a V6 truck, and I sure as hell wouldn't buy a fucking 4-banger truck. It sounds terrible. Will you mod the new ZR1 with the ZTK? Absolutely. Is there a Dodge Viper ACR in your future? You know, I really liked the Dodge Viper I drove in a video from about 4 or 5 days ago. And, you know, it'd be neat to get an ACR, but they're still very expensive. And I don't know what I would do with it. I mean, it's really more of a track car, more so than the ZR1. Like, the thing about a new ZR1 is, and I bitch about it being heavy, which I would prefer to be lighter, but one of the good things that comes along with that extra weight and the amenities is that it is really nice to drive every day. Now, the McLaren's light and nice to drive every day, but the Viper ACR is like a stripped out race car. It's not something that you want to drive every day. Now, me being a younger guy, I probably wouldn't really care, but for what I do and the amount of driving I do with filming and everything, that might be a little rough, honestly, to drive every single day. So I don't think I would do that. Would you and DHR Street Speed ever race his Viper and your ZR1? Both manual, so it'd be pretty fair. Absolutely, I would love to do that. And straight line, I mean, the ZR1's probably going to kill the ACR straight line, but on a track, that would be a very, very good race, obviously. You know, that'd be awesome. Will you buy the new Shelby GT500, and what do you think of the new Ford Raptor with the V8? Well, from what I understand, Ford is not doing a V8 in the Raptor. Now, maybe I heard that wrong. I got to go look it up. But my whole thing about getting a new Raptor, a new gen Raptor, was I'm waiting to see if they do the 7-liter NA V8. That I would buy. And I thought they're not doing it. Maybe they are. If they are, I will seriously look at one. And I would like to look at the new GT500 too. It seems like a really cool car. And that would be very interesting to have a Mustang on the channel. It's something totally unexpected and different. And I would be down for it. You know, it's a win-win. It's like what I did with the Hellcat. You know, if I buy that car, it'll bring in a whole new audience that is going to come for a Mustang. I'm going to do all kinds of crazy shit with it. You know, I'll probably be one of the first and foremost people making content with it. And, you know, I'll show you exactly what it's like to own it and drive the piss out of it. And then I can probably, if the demand is high enough and I can get one at a good price, I can probably sell it and not lose any money. So it's really a smart financial decision. It would really be a great decision for me to do that, and it would be a ton of fun. Like, I really want to see what the car is all about. So if I can get the deal worked out, I may very well get this new GT500. I'm seriously considering it. You know, I kind of have the cash sitting aside right now because I sold my Z06 and my new McLaren doesn't get here for a while. The ZR1 is already, that I have a video that's going to be really cool for the ZR1. The way I'm going to pay for that car is well, it should be interesting. I'm gonna leave you there. So I hope that you enjoyed this upload. If you are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day.